May Flowers and June Showers. Gardening by Kathy Gardiner. Well, winter is upon us again. The last of the autumn leaves are fluttering. Mushrooms are popping up in the lawn. Oxalis is causing an issue yet again. And the king parrots have returned to our balustrading. Today I look out on the garden with the inevitable list of jobs. The top one is building a bluestone wall to cover rotting red gum sleeper walls that have probably held up their end of the bargain for over 30 years. I've decided to go with bluestone as I can lift single blocks on my own, and as long as they are on a firm level base, a wall can be constructed relatively quickly. If you build a sleeper wall, it's far more complicated. The last walls I created was from rock, so the piecing of it together was a major mathematical and artistic puzzle. It won't have to be too perfect, as it's only 3 stones high, and I know the grevilleas and salvias and convolvulus I plan to plant will cascade over the edge and soften it. I've just had a 30-metre long retractable hose attached to the outer wall of the house in preparation for next spring and summer. I got tired of piggybacking those hoses together and having them as a tripping hazard. If only we can claim all these essentials on our tax return. I have to say, I did need to get some help connecting the hose to the wall as it was over 20 kilos in weight, so I needed expertise in bolts in the clinker brick walls to support it. Hoses are always best to be re-evaluated at this time of the year. Trade out plastic fittings for brass if you can afford it. Check taps and connections aren't leaking. The dry stone walls are always an invitation for the gorgeous pardalotes which will be around in the garden now, as they build nests in the cracks in the stone walls. The eastern spinebills are in abundance at the moment, hovering over the swaying salvias overladen with flowers, looking like hummingbirds. Salvias. I know I'm always talking about them, but every year there are new varieties, new colours, and lots of different heights, so they will really fit any blank section of the garden. Since my last article, my daughter was married in the Yarra Valley, amongst thousands of vines, all turning orange, red, and burgundy. A gorgeous sight. We are so lucky to live next to such a special landscape. From the grapevines, the Boston ivy on the Yarra Glen Hotel, to the avenues of deciduous trees along the local driveways. Winter is the time to make the drive out through Kangaroo Ground, Christmas Hills, and farther to Yea and Yark, where the scars of the recent fires are a stark contrast to the new verdant green of new growth. The towering gums are recovering. It's always good to support these towns that have gone through such hardship over the summer months. A stark reminder for us all to be vigilant and how quickly and devastatingly the fires can impact individuals and communities. June is a month of pruning, of course. Prune in June. Hellebores, camellias, and winter vegetable gardens. Even with all the gardening books in the world and gardening shows such as Gardening Australia to teach us, I don't think we will ever know everything about the garden, cycles of the season, or the critters that live amongst us. I do know more than the local Bunnings garden attendant who had trees with no leaves that were in clearance because she thought they were dead and maybe someone can give them some TLC. Needless to say, look out for these clearance bins. I did learn a new tip for hellebores, or commonly called winter roses, to cut back all the leaves from last season to nothing left. The plants will quickly replace the old leaves with new, and it's the new shoots that will produce the new flowers. And wow, did they what! I have quite a few hellebores that flower year after year, a mass of multicoloured flowers. Usually, I just prune the dead and lacklustre leaves left from the summer, but this year I took the advice and have a bumper crop. Hellebores are a beautiful flower to bring inside and pop in a vase as they stay fresh for up to a month inside. Persimmons are another tree you might want to investigate, or similarly pomegranates. The persimmon trees can grow up to 18 metres high, so make sure you prune constantly to keep them in check. The winter tree is an interesting one, with no leaves but hanging fruit. Persimmon fruit is a little like the clearance bin at Bunnings. Often they are discarded from the fresh fruit section when they are soft and have the consistency of jelly, which is totally the time when they are perfectly ripe and due to be eaten. They can also be eaten like an apple, but the soft ones are glorious. The persimmon fruit, as with artichokes, feijoas and pomegranates, make gorgeous winter fruit displays for the kitchen bench. They have the appearance of a tomato, but a beautiful orange colour. I've had a bucket of feijoas in my car for a couple of weeks, intending to give to a friend who loves them, but instead I've been giving handfuls to strangers who have never tried them. Another gorgeous winter fruit in abundance now, eaten with a spoon. June. What a month! A month of fires, fuzzy blankets, Kathmandu jackets, heated car seats to keep us warm. Maybe just a hug. Maybe winter is the time to hug.